My name's Amelia and I'm a physiotherapist who works for pelvic floor and continence. Today this video is going to be in two parts. We're going to talk about what is the pelvic floor muscle and why it's important to keep it strong and to exercise it. And we'll show you how you can do some pelvic floor exercises. The second part of the video, we're going to talk about exercise more broadly, and I'll be showing you some different exercises that you can do at home or in your local park to help maintain your fitness and keep you strong and healthy. So, to start with, we're going to talk about what is the pelvic floor, where are they, and why are they important. So, your pelvic floor muscles are a group of muscles that are located at the base of your pelvis. They look like a sling or like a hammock, and they travel from the front of your pelvis to the back. They're really important muscles for two reasons. One is that they help support the organs of the pelvis, so the bladder and the bowel, and they hold those organs against the gravity acting on your body. The second reason they're very important is that they can help with maintaining continence as you get older, or if you've had a baby, or even if you've had surgery. When we talk about continence, we're talking about controlling the bladder and the bowel function. Incontinence occurs when you have leakage. So you can have leakage of urine from your bladder, and you could also have leakage of feces from the bowel. So as you can appreciate, it's very important to keep these muscles strong so that we can prevent incontinence from happening. There are lots of things that can cause your pelvic floor to become weak. For example, if you are constipated and are always having to push very hard for poos, this can make the muscles weak. If you are overweight or if you have a chronic cough, this can also put additional pressure on the muscles and slowly make them weaker over time. If you have a job or if you go to the gym and do lots of heavy and repetitive lifting, this can also put extra strain on the pelvic floor. We know that women who are pregnant or who have had babies also can experience some weakening of their pelvic floor. It's approximately 1 in 3 women who have had a baby will wet themselves at some point in their life. So for this group, it's especially important to learn about where the pelvic floor is and how to activate it to prevent issues long term. Finally, if you've had any surgery in the bladder or bowel area, including things like a hysterectomy or a prostatectomy for prostate cancer, this can affect your pelvic floor function too. So, to keep our pelvic floor muscles strong, we need to exercise them, just like every other muscle in our body. Pelvic floor exercises are relatively easy to do, but the hardest part is working out where the muscle is and how to turn it on. To find your pelvic floor, there's a few different ways to think about turning the muscle on. You can try all of them and see which one works the best for you. So, the first way to think about turning on your pelvic floor is to imagine you're trying to stop yourself from weeing. So for some people, this will feel like they're pulling upwards and inwards, up around the urethra where the urine comes out. If you would like to test if you're turning the muscles on correctly, you can try stopping and starting the flow of urine while you're on the toilet. It's not recommended that you do this regularly or every day, but it is a good way of testing to see if you're using the correct muscle patterns. Another way to think about turning on your pelvic floor is to imagine it like you're trying to stop yourself passing wind. When you do this, you should be thinking about pulling upwards and inwards at the back passage. It's very important when you're doing this that you don't squeeze your bottom cheeks together though. So your muscles should be very relaxed, and it's only the back passage that pulls upwards and inwards. The trick with doing pelvic floor exercises is that everyone around you shouldn't be able to tell that you're doing it. So, if you're holding your breath or going red in the face, it means that you're turning on lots of other muscles and not just the pelvic floor. You shouldn't have to squeeze your legs together to keep your pelvic floor on, but we do know for some people, when they're first starting out, doing the pelvic floor exercises sitting or lying down might make it easier to keep these muscles relaxed. So, to start your pelvic floor exercise at home, first things to do is find a position where you can feel this muscle turning on. So if you've never done these exercises before, I would recommend lying down on the bed with your legs either straight out in front or with your knees bent up, whatever is the most comfortable. Once you're lying down, see if you can pull upwards and inwards, either like you're stopping wee or like you're stopping wind, and just see how long you can hold on to that muscle for. Remembering not to hold your breath or to squeeze your bottom cheeks together. Every person is going to be different. So for you, see how long you can hold for. If it's only 3 seconds, that's okay. That just tells us that that's the level your muscles are at. And to practice your exercises, you might like to start with 3 3-second holds, then relax. If you feel like you can hold your muscles a little bit longer, for example 5 seconds, you could then try to do 5 5-second holds and then rest. So let's have a little bit of a practice of what that would look like at home. So we'll pretend that we're lying down, and I'm going to show you what 5 5-second holds would look like. Your body should be relaxed. You're not going to hold your breath. Now, all together, we're going to pull upwards and inwards, hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Good. We're going to do that again. Pulling upwards and inwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. We've got 3 to go. Pulling upwards and inwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Make sure you're not holding your breath or squeezing any of your other muscles. It's just the pelvic floor. Here we go again. Lift and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. And lucky last, pulling upwards and inwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Whew, it's hard work. So for some people, that might be enough. If you feel like that was too easy, you could then do the same thing again from the top. If you felt like that was too hard, you might be better off doing some shorter holds. So you might like to try 3 3-second holds instead. To make the exercises harder, the better you get, you could try them in different positions, like sitting or even standing. And once you start to get really confident, you might like to try and turn this muscle on during some of your other activities during the day. It's very good to help prevent incontinence if you can learn to turn this muscle on just before you cough, sneeze, laugh, or lift. So maybe next time you feel a sneeze coming, see if you can turn this muscle on first. If you're having trouble finding this muscle, so if you couldn't feel that pelvic floor contraction or you're not sure if you're doing it right, it's worthwhile having your pelvic floor assessed by a health professional. It's something you can chat to your GP about, or a continence nurse, or a pelvic floor physio like myself is also someone who can help assess your pelvic floor muscles and get you on the right track with your exercise program. The next thing we're going to look at is how you can do some more general exercise around your house or in your local park. through some simple exercises that you can do at home. We're going to start off doing some exercises sitting down. So even if you feel like you're someone who doesn't normally do a lot of exercise, these are a really great one to start with. You can do them every day, and remember, with any exercise it's important to take it at your own pace and stop if you feel like you're getting any pain with the exercises. So sitting down in the chair, feet flat on the ground, we're just going to warm up our calf muscles by doing some calf raises. So what I'm doing is just lifting my heels up off the ground and using my calf muscles to warm my lower legs up. If you've got one leg that maybe is a bit sore or has an injury, you could do it just on the side that doesn't have any issues. You can then warm your ankles up by putting one leg out in front and making some circles around both directions, whatever feels good. And again, if your ankles don't like to move one way, just do a small circle the other way. And it's good to do that on both sides if you can. Now, to get our quad muscles working, we can do some leg holds. So what that looks like is putting your legs straight up in front, pull your toes up, and you should feel it goes really tight on the top of your leg. If you can, see if you can hold that for 3 seconds. And then down. Do the same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3, and down. If you want to make it harder, you can hold it for longer. If you would like to do some exercise that gets you a little bit more puffed, you could start out by doing some marching on the spot. If you make the sound really loud and bang your feet into the ground, it means you're putting lots of loading through your bones, which is good for preventing osteoporosis. Then, if you wanted to get your heart rate going even more, you could add in some things with your arms. Maybe punching your arms out in front. If that feels like it's too much, you could stop the legs and just do the arms on there. Like that. If you go faster, it's a bit harder. You can also do the punching over the top of your head, as long as it doesn't hurt your shoulders. So punching up in the air like this. This is a really good exercise to do with lots of friends. And then relax. We're going to do some standing up exercises in a second, but while we're sitting down, there's a couple of really easy stretches you can do, which you might do while you're cooling down. So a good stretch to do sitting in a chair is to twist through your back, crossing your arms over your chest and turning to look to one side. Feels really good. And then twisting the other way. You can do some stretches with your arms, so putting one arm behind your back and stretching your muscles. And the other way. And also some stretches for your legs. Putting one leg out and reaching towards your toes. Whenever you're doing a stretch, it should feel like a comfortable stretch rather than a painful stretch. And you can hold each stretch up to 30 seconds at a time. Make sure you keep breathing while you're doing your stretches too. You don't want to hold your breath. Next exercises we're going to do standing up. So to do these at home, you'll need something you can hold on to for balance, like the kitchen bench or the back of a very sturdy chair. So we're now going to practice some exercises standing up. So as I said, you want to do these at home with something to hold on to for support, like the kitchen bench or the back of a sturdy chair. With these exercises, it's important that you make sure you are safe. So if any of them make you feel challenged or off balance, maybe look at working up towards them over time as you get a little bit stronger. So standing up and holding onto the bench, we're going to start with some leg exercises. So the first one we're going to do is taking your leg backwards behind you. To start with, you step it back and touch your toe down, then bring it back together. Back, touch down, back together. If that's too easy or you would like to challenge yourself, you can then do it without touching your leg down. They don't have to be very big movements. If you go too big, you'll end up overbalancing or stretching your back. So if you keep them small, it means you're working just your bottom muscles and your leg muscles. I like to start with 10 on each side and build up from there. The next exercise is very similar, but it's taking your legs out to the side. So I'll turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. Taking my leg out to the side and in again. But it's good to do this one holding on with two hands. Out and in. The same as the backwards ones. We don't want to go too high with this exercise. Keep it nice and low so you're not arching your back. If it's too tricky, keep the toe touched down on the ground. Like that. We're going to do an exercise now for the hamstrings, which is the back of the leg. Holding on for balance, bring your heel up towards your bottom and squeeze through your hamstrings. Like that. Now, depending on how your knees work, you might not be able to get all the way up. Just see what you can do. It's okay if you just do a small one. It's still going to work the muscles at the back of your leg. The next exercise is calf raises. You definitely want to have something for balance. And what we're doing is just like when we were sitting down, lifting the heels up off the ground and raising up on your toes. Then coming down slowly. Up and down. It doesn't matter how high you go, even a very small little lift is still very good for your muscles. And the last exercise is a mini squat. With a mini squat, you want to make sure your feet are hip width apart, that you're holding on for support, and you do a little knee bend to pretend like you're going to sit down in a chair. Then come up straight. It doesn't have to be very deep, you just go to the level you're comfortable. For some people, this can make their knees a little bit sore. If this one makes your knees hurt, try even a smaller version, or maybe leave this exercise out until you're feeling a little bit stronger. With all of our exercises, it's important that we go nice and slow, don't rush, and work out a level that's suitable for you. If you can do 3 of each exercise to start with, that's a great place to start. If you feel a little bit more confident, or if you've exercised lots before, you might like to start with 10 of each exercise and see how your body goes. If you want more information on exercise programs, or to get an exercise program that's individual to you, sometimes it can be good to see a physiotherapist or an exercise physiologist who can make an exercise program specific to your needs, particularly if you had an injury or surgery. Thank you very much, and I hope that you enjoyed the information and the exercises that we've presented